And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
With me today on Car Clinic is Ed Piatek, Cadillacs Program Engineering Manager. Ed is joining us today from the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, or the Detroit Auto Show, where Cadillac is unveiling the new CTS-V Coupe. Ed, I'm delighted to have you in the house here at Car Clinic Radio.
Bobby, it's my pleasure. I'm real excited here to talk with you a little bit about the 2011 CTS-V Coupe.
I have seen a couple of photos online. I've heard rumors. I have yet to sit in one. Tell us about the CTS-V Coupe.
The CTS-V Coupe is really the focal point of Cadillac's revamped product lineup, and it really brings the most dramatic Cadillac design execution in production and marries that with V-Series technology. And for us, V-Series has been the highest performance, technology-laden vehicle line that we've developed, and really this car is about bringing dramatic style and extremely high performance together in one vehicle.
Well, what's the difference between the CTS Coupe and the CTS-V Coupe?
Well, Bobby, for our V-Series, it's really about targeting some of the most elite car enthusiasts. And as an example, we'll start by increasing the performance of the car. It has a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine with 556 horsepower. It's got a top speed capability in excess of 190 miles an hour. It's got a suite of technology like magnetic ride control, the world's fastest suspension, pieces like Brembo brakes and Michelin tires, and it's really about elevating the standard level of performance to the extreme levels that we see with some of the luxury sport competition.
So the competition would be, exactly what vehicles will it compete against?
That's a great question. If you think about luxury coupes with over 500 horsepower, there's not many cars in the segment. I think if you look at some of the German cars and even some of the Japanese luxury brands, I think we're going to have a very compelling choice here with the dramatic style, with the features and the luxury attributes, and then again, this extremely high level of performance that we're delivering from the powertrain side.
Ed, you mentioned 556 horsepower, 6.2 liter, and you mentioned supercharged. I'll tell you what our listeners are really interested in, because this is where the rubber meets the road with MPG as well as performance, and that is the torque. Can you give us the torque curve and range of the engine?
It's interesting, with the supercharged or forced induction really lets you manipulate the torque curve that you can't do necessarily with a naturally aspirated engine. So as an example, we're making more than 400 pound-feet of torque just off of idle. Some of our competitors don't make 400 pound-feet of torque peak. And so our torque starts extremely high right off of idle and peaks at 551 pound-feet of torque. It's a very flat torque curve, and it makes the 6 speeds in either automatic or manual transmission very easy to use without having to do a lot of shifting.
Can you give us a date when it will go on sale? And do you have product launches nationwide, or have you targeted select cities?
The car will go on sale this summer along with the Cadillac CTS Coupe, and it's going to be a nationwide launch. We're excited to have the car literally everywhere as we introduce the CTS Coupe at the same time.
Will dealers be able to take pre-orders?
Yes, I'm not sure that we've started the order process yet, but there's absolutely, just like the other CTS models, a chance for customers to customize and personalize things like colors. We have a unique saffron interior accent color that's only going to be in the coupe that really adds some flair. And there'll be a lot of choices customers can make, things like micro suede wrap, steering wheel, and shifter knobs to really customize a car to their taste.
Wow. We're talking with Ed Piatek, Cadillac Programs Engineering Manager. Ed, how much does the car weigh?
The car is about 4,200 pounds of curb, depending on a couple of the options, including the transmission selection. I think if you look at our car competitively from a power-to-weight ratio, we're going to have a better power-to-weight ratio than just about any car in the segment.
And from a transmission, what are the options?
We have 2 transmissions. The first is a conventional automatic transmission. We've got an electronic sport mode if you want to have all the vehicle data fed into the automatic transmission selector to pick the right gear based on the type of driving you're doing, driver inputs. There's also tap-up paddles and a steering wheel, so a driver can manually select gears themselves. So really 3 different modes with the automatic. And we also offer a traditional 3-pedal manual transmission, and that's a Tremec with a short throw shifter and a twin disc clutch for low inertia and very easy modulability. So we're a little bit unique in this segment by offering customers a choice of either a conventional automatic or a traditional manual for a sports coupe.
One last question. The Coupe V with the torque curve up in the 400 plus above idle, normally 2,000 RPM or so or thereabouts is cruising speed. What would you estimate the MPG to be at normal cruising speed? Not necessarily with Bobby Likis driving it, but with someone who's a little bit more sensible and flows along with traffic rather than leading the traffic.
Well, I've personally driven the car on extended trips. We've had cars that we've developed and spent a lot of time with, and it's possible we've seen 20 miles per gallon on a tank. In conservative highway cruising, the sticker on the car is 19 highway for the manual transmission. I think what we find is that in this set, our fuel economy is better or equal to all the competitors. So I think the customers for this kind of car maybe are less inclined to make the purchase decision on fuel economy, but at least we know that compared to the competitors, we're as good as or better than them for this type of car.
Well, I would have to agree, especially when compared to the German set, because the curb weight of the vehicle is most encouraging. You can hang a lot of horsepower on an engine and put turbochargers, superchargers, and torque, but if you have to haul around 5,500 pounds, it's just not what the public really wants. And I applaud your engineering group, and if you're the lead manager on there, I applaud you personally, I do anyway, for creating an automobile that's in the low 4,000 pounds and the high 500 horsepower and torque. I can't wait to drive one. How about a website for more information?
Yeah, I think folks can go right to Cadillac.com, and there is a V-Series specific page or tab that they can go to and start looking at some of the new coupe features, things like this unique saffron interior color. There's other aspects of the car that are options that let a customer customize and build the car that's exactly perfect for them.
Sounds great. What's the feel at the Detroit Auto Show this week?
I think that there's what I'll call a sort of a sense of resurgence in the industry. I think people are a little bit more optimistic. I think some of the cars that are coming out are across the spectrum of performance and efficiency, and I think you're seeing some health return to the industry, which is exciting, especially for those that are working in it. There's some confidence that's come back.
Well, from the discussions that we've had recently with some of your associates, it's obvious to me that GM not only has turned the corner, but is charging once again back up to the top, which is well where they belong. And congratulations to you. I appreciate your time today. Ed Piatek, Cadillacs Program Engineering Manager. Ed, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Bobby. It's been my pleasure.